in, so let's take a look. So Randy, you wanted the extra room, I assume, and that's why you have a cargo trailer plus a van.
Yes, I was able to afford the option of bringing a trailer along to try the idea out of what I liked more, having a van and a trailer or whatever combination thereof. I bought a used trailer. It's 3 years old. I bought RV windows for it. I put 3 in it. There's 2 on this side and 1 on the opposite side. Having traveled and been off in BLM land before, I knew that I needed extra clearance to be have less of a chance of an issue of getting stuck. So I bought a factory axle from the trailer company, and I put a straight axle in it, and it raised it 4 inches higher off the ground. I upgraded and put brand new 16-inch tires and wheels on it. They're 10-ply rated tires because trailers have a habit of wearing tires out. If I can make it in the van, I easily can make it in the trailer. And one of the reasons why I raised it too is because I actually added, I have a 16-gallon black storage tank. So I put an RV tank on the trailer. I added that because I have a shower and just the idea that I wanted to have it, so if I was ever questioned about the validity of it being a camper, I can prove that I actually have the ability for black or gray water storage. I've got 310 watts of solar on the roof. I have an RV, a Winegard amplified TV antenna, which I'm able to get plenty of free TV channels. I have a fantastic fan on the top, and then I have an additional cooling fan that I built in that's inside that comes off of the other side of the trailer.
So you mounted your spare on the back door. That really saved you.
Saved me a lot of space. If you'd watched the previous video on the interview with my van, I mirrored everything with the van and the trailer. So I have a full electrical external hookup, and this is actually how I can tether my battery bank from the van to the trailer if I want. I have 800 amps of battery storage in the van, and then I have a 150 amp battery in here with my 300 watt solar system. But if I want more power than what my little bank has currently in my trailer, all I got to do is hook my tether. I made a custom power cord to tie the van to the trailer. And all I do is I made a color-coded system here to tie the two together.
And these are standard hookups for welding.
So I just elaborated on the idea that was already out there and the parts that were out there, and modified it for my needs to make me a custom extension cord. So I just plug in, lock them, they're quick locks. And now I have the ability to pull all the battery storage of electricity from the van to the trailer. It's actually 0 gauge stereo amplifier wire. This is like boombox industry. And the reason I went with 0 gauge is because I did not want to lose any amperage from the van to the trailer. So you want to maximize your wire gauge size as large as you can get it. I can move 140 amps of power on demand because of the size of the wire I chose. And then here is an RV plug. So I could plug in from a house, or in this situation I can plug from my van to here with AC power. 42 gallon water tank. Again, I put an RV. So I have direct access. I just hook up with a hose. So I've got a secondary cooling fan. And so I have one on the roof like everybody else does. But I also incorporated one inside, and it pulls its air from here. And what I did is I created an air chamber here. So I have a filter. That is an air chamber in there, and it goes to a cooling fan. And I can pull air from this side, pull it in, and it's the same cooling fan as the one I used on the van. It's an aftermarket racing cooling fan, and it moves a lot more air than your traditional fantastic fans. So this is the back side of my build.
Where you've got a full shower.
Pretty simple. I added a shower curtain, and I used a concrete mixing tub as my shower base, and the water dumps into my gray water tank, black water tank, combination tank. I brought around, and I have a spigot access, a quick access to water of my 42 gallons there. When you're on the road and you learn to do things in a small area, this is actually more than enough room for me to shower, being a big girthy guy that I am. So I bought 2 different battery driven or DC driven shower systems. And I've got one in the van, and this one is similar. It's not completely self-sufficient, but what it does is I just plug it in. I added a lot of extra electrical outlets to my van and my trailer. And this gives me the rate of charge in my solar and my battery bank. And it gives me sockets. So here's my extra outlets, just so I can see where my battery's at. And then I powered my shower. Here's my little plug-in 12-volt deal. So all I do is when I'm standing here and I'm showering, I do that, and then the other end just drops into a bucket.
And this is your washing machine.
Yes,
which we're going to do a separate video on.
Yeah. This looks like, to anybody, when you first look at it, it's a cupboard, right?
Right.
So you open it up, and it's a cupboard. I have storage space in here. But this also is my air duct way to my second cooling fan,
Right.
which is to the vent that you saw outside.
Right.
So what I do is if I'm not using it for storage, all I do is take this vinyl sheet that I bought, and I move it this way, and now I've converted it into a vent. It's now my duct way for my fan. So I made myself my own hot water, Insta-Hot as it were, ability to make hot water while I'm traveling. And I use, again, I love electricity, so I use my solar power off the van, and I've created an electric hot water heater. So I put a hot water element, and I bought this from a marine supply, a boat supply company, and I just fabricated it to fit in the bucket. This is a 3-gallon bucket.
And with a gamma lid.
Yes, with a gamma lid. I love the gamma lids. So I can heat 2 gallons of water in 10 minutes to 120 degrees. And I have hot water. So I have hot water to shower. 65 amps is, oh my goodness, that's a lot of juice. But you're only running it for 10 minutes.
Right.
So
it's not much at all.
So yeah, again, this may give people ideas that how to build their solar systems. You really don't need a big system to use the stuff I am using to have comfort. The second benefit to the black bucket is solar. In the summertime, I can put this in the windshield, inside the windshield on the dash of my van, and I can heat it just with the sun. 2 hours on the dash, I can heat this water without any energy at all. I like this on my solar side to monitor how much solar power is coming in. I bought an external meter that wires in line, and this one's wired in line to my solar panels, so it tells me how much energy is currently being produced from the panels or what is needed. It's only on demand, so they'll produce a lot more, but right now my battery bank is only needing to put in this rate. I have a Renogy 60 amp controller.
Oh wow.
Well, I had a 60 amp controller because I had a 900 watt system.
Right, you'd have to.
I just left the 60 amp because it didn't matter, so I still have the 60 amp controller. But I added an external meter so I could actually see what's going on with the solar panels. You know, I have simple creature comforts. I've got actually I just used an automotive AM/FM CD player for a stereo system. This runs off of the battery bank. A couple speakers. What's interesting with what I feel with this 6x12 trailer is I wanted to separate the trailer. I created a hallway because I wanted separation from my front living area to the back. And it makes the trailer look bigger. And so what it did is I created a kitchen area. So I actually have a kitchen sink. I got my water. I have the same water type setup. I can pump water out of my 42 gallon tank. And then, like I said, it separates my shower and stuff. So this is kind of a neat effect. And all this is a Home Depot 2-shelf unit. But it looks like a wall. You know, it gives a neat effect.
Very good. And that's your vent.
Yes. So this is the neat part. So this is my second fan. So this is my primary, this is my fantastic fan, you know, that everybody has in this situation. So I use this as a puller fan. So I pull hot air out with this fan.
Right.
But I use this as what they call a pusher. So I bring air in from outside, and I took this grill and I custom bent the fins to go different directions. So it spreads the air different ways.
Right.
So I turn it on here, and I have a variable speed fan, and I can sit here and I have great cool air blowing down on me, and so I can control, and it's all coming from outside.
Right. Very, very nice.
And then I got a cupboard, so I just created a little clothing cupboard area to fill up the gap that I already had, you know, in the shelf unit.
Right.
The bed, like everybody else's, it hinges. This comes up, and I have access to storage under the bed, and then I also have pull-out storage as well. So these containers all pull out, and I have storage. I wouldn't recommend this to anybody unless you're comfortable with it, but I have my propane storage under my bed for my Wave 3 catalytic heater. I don't like to be cold, and propane's cheap. As long as you properly install your tank, I do not feel there's a risk of fire. I try to take advantage of storage. I'm not done with the interior, folks, so you know I'm not done yet. But the whole idea is the paneled walls like everybody else has. I've got inch foam insulation in the walls and in the roof, in the ceiling. And this actually is very comfortable, even in wide open sun. Cute little table. You and I had talked about it earlier.
Yeah.
But it's a nice portable table that actually, okay, so all I do.
Wow, I think that's so cool.
I mean, this is perfect for people that have a challenge with space. Since I had an abundance of electricity, I can power electric heat in a mild evening. And I say anything from 30 degrees or warmer, I can heat my little space, which is approximately 45 square feet in this front area. I can keep me and the dog comfortable at 65 degrees with this plate heater. It's a ceramic household grid heater. It only drew about 4 to 5 amps per hour.
At 110.
On 110. So multiply 8 to 10 times that on DC.
Which is almost nothing.
Nothing, not really. I'm a very security conscious guy. This is actually a driveway motion detector setup. I actually have 2 sensors that I can put anywhere in my camp up to 100 yards away, and it'll detect any motion. So when I'm out here at night, I want advance notice if there's 2 or 4 leggeds out here that I need to be aware of. Because if I let my dog out to go outside, I need an advance warning if something's lurking around.
Very, very good idea.
Cheap, and it's very reliable. I'm very happy with it.
Well, Randy, I'm just really impressed. You've done a wonderful, wonderful job with your trailer.
Thank you.
Well, Randy, thank you so much for sharing your cargo trailer with us, your conversion. It's just amazing. You've done a wonderful job. Very creative. You got your shower. You got an amazing ventilation system. Just really amazing. Thank you.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it.
Thank you, everyone, for watching this video, and I hope you've enjoyed it and learned something from it. I'm sure you have been inspired. So keep watching until our next video. Like us on YouTube, subscribe to the channel, and we'll visit with you later.